Hey, I want to tell you a little story about a young woman who means a lot to me. She means the world to me, and I love very much. And she had a situation, something that came up in her life where this guy approached her who was much older and started asking all these creepy questions that he had no business asking her. They were very inappropriate, and it really caught her off guard. She felt like a deer in headlights. And so she started trying, engaging with him and answering the questions, but trying not to engage too much. She was trying to be nice and polite because there were other people around and she didn't want to cause a scene and all of that. She didn't want to be combative. And I had a very similar situation happen with me, and that was even online, where it was somebody I was friends with but didn't really know, and he asked me this inappropriate question, and I'm thinking, where did this come from? And this is kind of how it made me feel.
Oh, hey, you, I got a question for you.
Are you feeling me here? Like, no social lubrication whatsoever. So with this young woman that I know, she found herself again. She was caught off guard. She wanted to be polite. And when we look back over time, women, we've all been taught this, but especially women have been taught, be polite, be sweet, sit there and look pretty. That's your job, right? And so that was doing an incredible disservice to us. Our parents may have meant well, our teachers, all of that. They might have meant well in giving us that advice, but it was really teaching us to excuse bad behavior and not trust our own instincts with people. So what I told this young lady was, here's something to really think about next time somebody does that. And there will be a next time, unfortunately. Is one, you don't ever have to answer anyone's questions that you don't feel comfortable answering, and they don't have a right to ask you. And this is not just a young woman problem. This is something that grown ass, high priestess energy, badass, strong, wise, confident women also experience. I know I've experienced this myself. And even like with what happened with me, it was online. So at least I had some time to kind of collect myself and think about this for a minute. And what I chose to do with this person was, I could have ignored it, I could have gotten all all up in his shit and started some drama with him. Or there's a lot of different things that I could have done. But what I did was I sent him a voice message, and I was because I wanted him to hear my voice. So much gets lost with text. But I sent him a message and just said, talking to him like I would a friend, and said, dude, you can't talk to me like that. I don't even really know you. And I your question was just really inappropriate to ask me because you don't know me. I said, I really don't think you meant any harm by it. And I believe that is true. That's what my instincts were telling me. I think he was just trying to be friends, talk to me like he would one of his dude friends. And he had been watching my videos, and I put out an energy. I mean, I talk about a lot of things that are inappropriate and things that we've made inappropriate, like sex. Sex itself is not inappropriate. To talk about sex is not inappropriate, but I talk about it in certain contexts, in certain circles, because I'm trying to make it less shameful and less ugly to the world, and I have a kind of twisted sense of humor. So I think he got the energy from me that, oh, I can joke with her. And that is true to a degree. But if you don't know me and I don't really know where you're coming from, that could be a problem. So he just used it in the wrong context. But instead of assuming and saying, hey, dude, you're an asshole, I really got the sense he didn't mean any harm. So I reached out and said, what were you trying to accomplish there though? Because if you were trying to get somewhere, I just want to tell you, it's probably, I don't know if that's worked for you in the past, but if it has, maybe it's not getting you the caliber of situations that you want. Maybe it is. But I'm just confused on what you were trying to accomplish. And I would like for you to know that what you are doing is really could really create an even bigger divide between men and women. We're already pissed at each other collectively, right? We're already like, they're all assholes. All of them are gold digging whores. They all cheat. We're already in this place where we've had our own experiences, and then we continue to do things and attract people to us to keep proving ourselves right about the things, our stories. So I was trying to, really reach out to him and let him know this probably isn't the way you want to come across. So give it some thought. And the first thing he said when he responded, he said, thank you for seeing that I didn't mean any harm, because I really didn't. And we ended up engaging in a pretty lengthy conversation that gave us both a deeper understanding of our own experiences individually and as men and as women in this culture. So I'm saying all of this and sharing all of this with you because we can do better if we stop making assumptions, right? And trying to prove ourselves right about the stories we've already created in our head about men or about women or anything for that matter. I would also like to point out, if you walk around in a male body, I know that plenty of men out there have had their own traumas, but I would like for you to understand that women collectively have been walking around for centuries with a sense that if you're in a female body, this is not a safe world to be in. And that's a whole other video. And just one example, just to put it in context here for you men, if somebody, just handed you the Hope Diamond and said, hey, this is the real thing, can you put it in your pocket and walk down, 6 blocks down the street and deliver it to this place over here? Okay, but guess what? There's a lot of people out here who know that you have the Hope Diamond in your pocket. So just be careful, okay? That's kind of what it's like walking around with a vagina every day. And it doesn't help at all that we live in a culture that has over-sexualized and just objectified women to this profound degree, right? The messages, the constant bombarding of messages that we've received, that's constantly letting us know your value rests in your appearance. So put all your effort in that, because regardless of how talented you are, how smart you are, how wise you are, any of those gifts, they're meaningless in this culture, right? We don't want to see that. We want to see your tits, and it has made us feel like when we are bearing our souls and trying to really show up as the expression of the divine that we are, this is kind of how we feel we're being seen. My own trauma, that got stirred up in working with all these other women with trauma. And it has just evolved into this massive, very passionate life mission that I have now. And it is so important to me. And so, yeah, I love my work. I've had a heck of a journey to get here. It's taken a lot. How about you? Well, why are you staring at me like that? And it's because of this that we as women have lost touch with our power. And if we could begin to just set aside, some of the emotions and our own past experiences that make us react to these, as upsetting as they are, because they're truly upsetting, right? But just having the same reactions over and over again to them are not going to change anything. They're just going to make men feel shamed. Men have been taught these things too. They've been taught to behave this way because this is what makes you a man. So what if we could use these opportunities as a place to start to heal the wounds between the masculine and the feminine, between men and women? And I will say this, I feel like men are living in a world also that really hasn't given them much space to get it wrong. Even on occasion, they're feeling like they were supposed to be born empowered, and heaven help you if you should ask for any kind of support emotionally as a man. Let's not forget that men are humans too, and that they have emotions just like women do. But we don't give them room in this culture to feel those things and have certain needs, especially emotional needs, without all of a sudden, we say as women, we want the guy who's sensitive. We want the guy who's in touch with his feminine side. But the moment he starts to show emotions or needs certain type of emotional support, we can kind of shut down as women and not feel quite as safe. And they notice. And if they feel shamed, emasculated, or like not needed, this is when they're at risk of just giving up and not even trying. They'll give up their sense of adventure and purpose in the world. They'll bury their gifts beneath the rage and frustration, and then they're left just thinking, why try? You want a hero, but if I'm too strong, I'm insensitive. You want a man in touch with his feminine side, but if I feel fear or emotions, you feel unsafe. What would happen if men just gave up? What kind of world would we be living in if men just stopped being men because it's become too risky? Oh, wait. We're already living in it.